Have you ever looked into the eyes of someone you once loved, only to realize that the person you knew has been replaced by a predator who seems to take a genuine, dark pleasure in your suffering? We aren't talking about common selfishness or a difficult personality anymore. We are stepping into the territory of true malevolence. By the end of this, you'll understand the exact moment the mask doesn't just slip, but finally shatters. You've felt it, haven't you? That chilling moment when the person you once trusted looks at you with eyes that seem to hold nothing but a strange, dark void. It's not just anger anymore. It's something far more sinister, something that feels like the very air in the room has turned cold and heavy. You start to wonder if you're actually dealing with the same human being or something that has completely lost its own sense of humanity. This is the stage where the narcissist stops trying to win you back and starts trying to wipe you out. It is a psychological shift from manipulation to total, unmitigated destruction. When a narcissist decides you are no longer a source of supply but an enemy that must be conquered, they enter a phase that many survivors describe as dealing with a devil. It's a level of coldness that defies any logical explanation. I want you to take a deep breath and listen closely. Because what you are experiencing is not your imagination. You aren't crazy for feeling like you are being hunted. This transition happens when the narcissist's ego is so deeply wounded that they no longer care about maintaining their public image in front of you. The theater is over, the lights have dimmed, and the monster behind the curtain has finally decided to step out. Think back to how it started. The charm, the intensity, the way they seemed to see a version of you that no one else did. It was all a setup for this very moment. They weren't building a life with you. They were building a map of your vulnerabilities. And now that they've turned, they are using that map to navigate your deepest fears. It feels like a betrayal of the soul because, in many ways, that is exactly what it is. This isn't just about a bad breakup or a toxic argument. This is about the scorched earth policy. When they reach this level of darkness, they don't just want to leave you. They want to ensure there is nothing left of you to move on with. They want your reputation, your finances, your sanity, and your very will to live. It is a calculated attempt to erase your identity so they can feel a fleeting moment of ultimate power. Why does it feel so personal? Because it is. They are punishing you for the sin of seeing who they truly are. As long as you believed the lie, you were safe. But the moment you held up a mirror to their darkness, you became a threat that had to be neutralized. That shift in their energy, that cold reptilian stare, is the sound of the final lock clicking into place. You are no longer a partner. You are now a target. You might be asking yourself if they ever really loved you at all. The hard truth, the one that sits heavy in your chest, is that they loved the reflection of themselves they saw in your eyes. Now that you've stopped reflecting back their greatness and started reflecting their flaws, they despise you. This hatred is as intense as their love was, and it is fueled by a bottomless pit of internal shame they cannot face. We need to talk about the tactics that come next because they are designed to make you feel like the world is closing in. From the outside, it looks like high conflict behavior. From the inside, it feels like psychological warfare. They are playing a game where the only way they feel like they've won is if you are completely broken. Understanding this devil phase is the only way you can begin to build a wall around your spirit. Stay with me, because we are going to pull back the veil on these behaviors. You need to know what they are capable of, not to scare you, but to arm you. When you see the blueprint, the devil loses its mystery. It becomes just another pathetic, broken person trying to hide their own emptiness by stealing your light. Let's look at exactly how they break the world around you just to stay in control of their own narrative. To understand why they turn so vicious, you have to realize that a narcissist's self is a fragile house of cards. When you challenge them or try to leave, you aren't just leaving a relationship. You are threatening to collapse their entire reality. To them, your independence is an act of war. They don't see a human being with rights. They see a rebellious tool that has suddenly stopped working and needs to be smashed. The devil phase is actually a form of extreme psychological projection. Every dark, twisted thought they have about themselves is being vomited onto you. They call you the liar because they can't stop lying. They call you the abuser because they are currently abusing you. By painting you as the villain, they get to feel like the righteous hero in their own distorted movie. It's a delusional state fueled by pure, raw envy. You see, they are jealous of your ability to feel, to heal, and to be genuine. When they turn into this devil persona, they are trying to prove that you are just as dark as they are. If they can make you scream, if they can make you act out of character, or if they can make you lose your temper, they feel a sick sense of relief. It proves to them that no one is truly good, and therefore their own evil is actually normal. They operate on a frequency of pure chaos. While you are trying to find a compromise or a peaceful resolution, they are looking for a way to maximize the damage. They don't want peace. They want surrender. They find a perverse kind of energy in the conflict. It's like a battery they charge by draining yours. The more exhausted you become, the more powerful they feel. It is a parasitic relationship in its most lethal form. Notice how they use the truth as a weapon. They will take a tiny grain of fact and wrap it in a mountain of lies to make it believable to others. This isn't accidental. It's a precise surgical strike on your credibility. They know exactly which buttons to press because they were the ones who installed them during the love-bombing phase. They aren't just guessing, they are executing a plan they've been refining for years. In this state, the narcissist lacks even a shred of empathy. It's gone. Any warmth you thought you saw was just a costume they've now thrown in the trash. They can watch you cry and feel absolutely nothing. Or worse, they feel a sense of accomplishment. Your tears are evidence that their magic still works. To them, your pain is the highest form of flattery. It's the ultimate proof that they still matter enough to hurt you. There is a specific kind of silence that comes with this phase. It's not just the silent treatment, it's a malignant abandonment. They will leave you in your moment of greatest need, specifically because it hurts the most. They want you to feel the full weight of your insignificance. By withdrawing their presence, they are trying to starve you of the very air you breathe. It's a cold, calculated move to make you beg. Their logic is entirely circular and impossible to argue with. In their mind, they are the victim of your reaction to their abuse. If you get angry at them for lying, you are the one with anger issues. If you cry because they cheated, you are unstable. This gaslighting is the foundation of the devil persona. They are rewriting history in real time, and they are so committed to the lie that they actually believe it. They start to recruit others into their dark fantasy. This is where the flying monkeys come in. They don't just want to hurt you, they want to make sure everyone else thinks you deserve it. They will whisper in the ears of your friends, your family, and even your co-workers. They present themselves as the concerned party who is just so worried about your recent behavior. It is a slow poisoning of your social circle. This transformation is a sign that the narcissist has completely integrated their shadow self. The part of them they used to hide is now the part that is driving the car. They have stopped pretending to be a good person because they've realized that being a bad person is more effective at getting what they want. They have traded their soul for a sense of total control, and they are willing to burn everything down to keep it. The real turning point happens when they realize that you are no longer afraid of them. Paradoxically, this is when they become the most dangerous. Fear was the chain that kept you tied to them, and when that chain snaps, they panic. A narcissist in a panic is like a cornered animal. They will lash out with everything they have. This is the moment they escalate from subtle manipulation to overt public destruction. You'll notice a shift in their language. It becomes sharper, more clinical, and devoid of any shared history. They might start using legal threats or financial withholding as a primary form of communication. They are no longer talking to you, they are talking to a defendant or a liability. Every interaction is now a deposition. They are building a case against your existence, and they aren't pulling any of their punches. It's during this phase that they might do something truly shocking, something you never thought they were capable of. Maybe they call the police with a false report, or they try to get you fired. This is the mask-off moment where you finally see the depths of their malice. It's terrifying, but it's also the most honest they have ever been. For the first time, you are seeing the true face of the person you've been living with. They will try to take away the things that give you a sense of safety: your home, your children, your pets, your money. By stripping you of your resources, they are trying to force you back into a state of dependency. They want you to come crawling back, not because you love them, but because you have nowhere else to go. It is a siege. They are trying to starve you out until your spirit finally breaks under the pressure. Watch how they react when you set a firm boundary. A normal person might be upset, but they eventually respect it. The devil narcissist sees a boundary as a personal insult. They will go out of their way to violate it just to show you that your rules don't apply to them. If you tell them not to call, they will call 20 times. If you tell them to stay away, they will show up at your door. They are asserting dominance. This is also when the smear campaign goes nuclear. They aren't just complaining about you anymore. They are trying to destroy your reputation permanently. They will leak private information, twist your vulnerabilities into evidence of your instability, and play the victim with such conviction that even people who have known you for years might start to doubt you. It is a masterclass in character assassination and betrayal. The most chilling part of this turning point is their lack of remorse. You might expect them to feel a pang of guilt when they see the damage they are causing, but they don't. Instead, they feel a sense of justice. In their warped mind, you made them do this. Every blow they land is seen as a rightful punishment for your perceived defiance. They are the judge, the jury, and the executioner of your shared life together. You might find yourself waiting for a moment of clarity from them, a moment where they wake up and realize what they are doing. But that moment isn't coming. The devil has taken over because it's easier than being human. Being human requires empathy, accountability, and the ability to feel pain. They've opted out of all of that. They would rather be a powerful monster than a vulnerable, flawed human being. The air between you becomes static with tension. Every text notification makes your heart race. Every car that looks like theirs makes you hold your breath. This is the hypervigilance phase of trauma. They have successfully turned your own nervous system against you. They are living rent-free in your head, and they are using that space to broadcast a non-stop loop of fear, doubt, and overwhelming anxiety. But here is the secret they don't want you to know. This escalation is a sign of their weakness, not their strength. They are throwing everything at the wall because they are losing their grip on you. If they were truly powerful, they wouldn't need to try this hard to destroy you. The devil is a desperate creature. They are fighting a losing battle against the truth, and the more you stand your ground, the more they unravel. As the narcissist enters the final stage of their devil transformation, their world starts to shrink. They have burned so many bridges and alienated so many people that they are left in a desert of their own making. But instead of reflecting on their actions, they double down on the darkness. They become even more obsessed with your ruin because you are the only thing left that gives their hollow life any sense of meaning. You will see a strange kind of decomposition in their life. Their health might fail, their finances might crumble, or their other relationships might start to blow up. This is the natural consequence of living a life based on lies and destruction. But the devil can't see the link between their actions and their results. To them, it's all just more proof that the world is out to get them and that you are the primary cause. They will reach a level of cruelty that is almost poetic in its darkness. They will find the one thing you care about most and try to ruin it right in front of you. If it's your career, they will sabotage a big project. If it's your relationship with a child, they will whisper poison in that child's ear. They are looking for the kill shot, the one thing that will finally make you give up and stop fighting for yourself. There is a cold, dead stillness in their eyes during these moments. It's the look of someone who has checked out of reality. They are operating on pure instinct now, the instinct to survive by destroying anything that reminds them of their own failure. It's a tragic sight, really, if it wasn't so incredibly dangerous. You are witnessing the total collapse of a human soul, and it is a heavy thing to have to watch. The consequences for you are profound. You might feel like you've been through a literal war. Your body is exhausted, your mind is foggy, and your heart feels like it's been put through a meat grinder. This is narcissistic abuse syndrome at its peak. The devil has left his marks on you, and for a while you might feel like you are marked forever. But the truth is, these scars are actually the evidence of your survival. They will try to rewrite the ending of the story. Even as they are losing everything, they will claim they won. They will tell everyone that they were the ones who left you, that they were the ones who were abused, and that they are finally free from your toxicity. This is their final act of gaslighting. It's a desperate attempt to save face while their entire house is on fire. It is a pathetic and hollow victory. You might see them move on to a new supply almost immediately. This is one of the most painful consequences to witness. It feels like you were easily replaced, like your years of sacrifice meant nothing. But look closer. They are just repeating the cycle with a new victim. The devil hasn't changed. He just has a new set of clothes. The person they are with now isn't luckier than you. They are just earlier in the script. The narcissist's ultimate consequence is a life of total, profound isolation. They can surround themselves with people, but they can never be with anyone. They are trapped in a prison of their own ego, forever looking for someone to blame for the bars they built themselves. The devil phase is the final realization that they are truly alone, and that is a darkness far deeper than anything they could ever do to you. It's important to realize that they will never apologize. There will be no movie moment where they realize the pain they caused and ask for forgiveness. To do that, they would have to acknowledge their own humanity, and they gave that up a long time ago. Expecting an apology from a devil narcissist is like expecting a stone to bleed. You have to find your own closure because they will never, ever give it to you. As the dust begins to settle, you start to see the narcissist for what they actually are. A small, frightened child wearing a monster's mask. The devil was an illusion designed to keep you from seeing the emptiness underneath. They aren't a god, they aren't a king, and they certainly aren't in control of your destiny. They are just a broken person who chose hate over love, and they have to live with that choice forever. Now we come to the most important part. Your return to the light. The devil wanted you to believe that you were destroyed, but look at you. You are still here. You are breathing. You are listening to these words. That spark inside of you, the one they tried so hard to extinguish, is still burning. It might be small right now, but it is there. And that spark is everything. It is the one thing they could never truly take. Healing from this kind of darkness isn't a straight line. Some days you will feel powerful and free, and other days you will wake up with a heavy weight on your chest. That's okay. You are relearning how to be human after being hunted by someone who wasn't. Be gentle with yourself. You've been through a spiritual and psychological battle that most people will never understand. You deserve your own compassion. The first step to true freedom is no contact. It is the only way to starve the devil. As long as they have a way to reach you, they have a way to pull you back into their darkness. Block the numbers, delete the social media, and walk away from anyone who feeds them information about you. It isn't mean or petty. It is an act of self-preservation. You are reclaiming the territory of your own life and your own peace. You have to grieve the person you thought they were. This is the hardest part. You aren't just grieving a relationship, you are grieving a ghost. The person you loved never actually existed. They were a character played by a master manipulator. It's okay to cry for that person, even if they weren't real. Just don't let your grief for the ghost lead you back to the monster. The devil is the reality. The angel was the bait. Start to reclaim your narrative. For a long time, the narcissist was the narrator of your life, telling you who you were and what you were worth. Now the pen is back in your hand. You get to decide who you are. You get to decide what your story means. You aren't a victim of a narcissist. You are a survivor who walked through the fire and came out with a soul that is now forged in steel. You are stronger than you know. Find your tribe. There are so many of us who have looked into the same darkness and found our way back. You are not alone in this. Connect with people who understand the specific language of this abuse. When you share your story with someone who gets it, the shame starts to dissolve. The narcissist used isolation to keep you weak, so use community to make yourself strong. Together, we are an unbreakable wall. There will come a day when you think of them and you feel nothing. Not anger, not fear, not even sadness. Just a quiet, neutral indifference. That is the ultimate win. When they no longer have the power to move your needle in any direction, they are truly gone. You have successfully exorcised the devil from your life, not by fighting him, but by simply outgrowing him. You have moved on to a frequency they cannot reach. Remember that your empathy is a superpower, not a weakness. The narcissist tried to use your kindness against you, but don't let that make you cold. The world needs your light now more than ever. The fact that you can still love, still trust, and still care after everything you've been through is the ultimate act of rebellion. You are proving that love is stronger than malice, and that is a victory they can never take. As you move forward, keep your boundaries high and your heart open to the right people. You now have a discernment that most people don't possess. You can see the red flags from a mile away. This experience has given you a psychological armor that will protect you for the rest of your life. You have been tested in the ultimate way, and you have passed. The devil has nothing left to teach you. Your school is over. The darkness they tried to drown you in was actually the soil you needed to grow into the most powerful version of yourself. You didn't just survive. You were reborn. The narcissist is still back there, trapped in their own cycle of hate, but you are moving toward a horizon they will never see. You are the hero of this story, and your best chapters are only just beginning. The monster is gone, and the light is finally yours to keep.